Hello everyone. Welcome to Advanced Generative AI session. We'll just wait for one more minute and then we'll.
Hi everyone. Firstly, very good morning, and hope you can see my screen and you are able to hear my voice very clearly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the confirmation. Firstly, let me introduce myself. This is Naveen, and I have overall 8.5 years of experience. And currently, I'm working as a AI specialist in one of the MNCs, and I'm a full-time generative AI trainer as well, right? Um, so this program, Advanced Generative AI, is a job-oriented program, and we'll see what are the features of this program. Or firstly, we'll give the introduction to artificial intelligence and what this generative AI and what is the future scope of generative AI. Okay, so we'll go in this manner. Okay, so seems like everyone's really enthusiastic. In the morning, I see many good morning messages. Yeah, very good morning, everybody. So let us start the session. And I'm really excited to chat with you today. Let's look at this image for a moment. I love it because it shows up. So that's exactly what generative AI is all about. A new way for us to create together, right? So today we'll explore what this amazing field is and how can be a part of it, right? So let's start with the basic understanding of this artificial intelligence, right? So let's start with the basics, nice and simple, right? So what is artificial intelligence? You can think of it as teaching computers to do things that usually require human intelligence, right? So things like what we see, or the recognizing speech, making decisions, or even learning from the information or translating that particular language. So these are nothing but a computer based systems, right? And so these are the major four key capabilities of any computer based artificial intelligence system might have. So this can be a perception, a see or hear, reasoning, so logic and rules, learning, adapt from data, and decision making, so take actions, right? So right, so we have been using chat gpt from say some 2 years or a couple of months, right? And you already know what is the capability of a artificial intelligence model can be, right? So I know this definition maybe little confusing for you since you are a beginner, but to keep it simple, AI is when machines think and act like humans, right? It can learn, solve problems, and make decisions. So this is completely understandable, right? So AI based system can learn, solve problems, and make decisions on its own, and the human intervention here is very less or very minimal. And beneath this you can see a diagram, okay, where artificial intelligence is a broader field over here, and inside it we have few subfields. Okay, so the second subfield being machine learning and deep learning and generative AI. Okay, now let us have, so this is some type of video that I have kept, and you already know this capabilities of AI, right? Coming from so this self-driving cars, or a simple robots, or even the simulations and the coding part and all. AI is excelling, and of course it is um, overcoming the hurdles and surpassing the human intelligence as well. So that part we can look at, right? And these are some of the AI milestones I have kept here. So these are some of the major milestones. So some of them being, so 2017, as you can see. So transformers introduced, and whatever the LLMs you are using right now, so they're all based on the transformers only. So after 2017, uh, we started building large language models, being the transformers be as a backbone. All right, so now let us understand the AI ecosystem that I was telling you earlier, right? So let me put this matter in a notepad. Yeah, so what do you know about artificial intelligence? Can someone give me any definition that you have already seen, or whatever you know or you have in mind? So I'll write very simple definitions here. Computers performing tasks that usually require human intelligence, like understanding language or recognizing images, etc. Right? So I have already given the definition of artificial intelligence, but this is another way of putting what it means. Okay, so computers performing tasks that usually require human intelligence, like understanding language, recognizing images, or translating the text. Okay, text generation, translating text or text generation. So all these are nothing but you are giving a computer based system some in type of intelligence, okay, in artificial manner. So not, that is nothing but your artificial intelligence. And as we see, and as I was telling you, machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence being the broader field, and machine learning is a subfield of it, and deep learning is again a subfield, generative AI is a subfield again, right? So artificial intelligence is a broader scope, okay, it's a field, major field, or you can even call it as a domain, right? So what this machine learning is all about? So we have plenty of machine learning jobs in India, right? So let us take these examples in a very simple manner. Okay, so these may not be the definitions, the actual definitions, but so this is what that particular system will do. Okay, when we call it as this machine and all, what it is going to do, or decisions without being explicitly programmed. Okay, so this is one type of definition for machine learning, right? So if you look at some of the examples, so whatever the um, prediction of house prices, prediction of house prices, or Google Maps we have, right? So Google Maps, and some spam detection, right? Like differentiating between the spam emails and ham emails, I mean the safe emails. Okay, so etc. These are all few examples of machine learning. All right. So machine learning is a method where computers learn patterns from data. So whatever the data we provide, and they find some patterns from it, and they start doing a task or activity that we ask it to do. Okay. So that is nothing but your machine learning. So this can also be other type of artificial intelligence, right? So it seems like it. So this is also artificial intelligence, right? So if you are at one location and you're traveling to other location, what Google Maps will do, so they provide you the shortest path, and they show how crowded or how much traffic is present in that particular area and all. So we didn't had generative AI around 3 years ago, right? So it all started from 2022, some end of 2022. So before that also we had these systems where we were using as part of this Google Maps or Gmail the segregation of the spam email and promotions, etc. So all those activities were done by machine learning systems. Okay, so these are the systems people were using before generative AI has come into our day-to-day life, right? Now let us see what do you mean by deep learning. Okay, so deep learning, as you can see, a type of machine learning using multiple layers of artificial neurons to automatically learn complex features from raw data. So deep learning is an amazing field. Okay, so you will get the essence of deep learning when we go through the classes, but um, most of the activities we had or we have right now, so something like image classification, recognizing different animals images, or speech to text transcription, like in Teams, in Microsoft Teams you can see some transcribing after your meeting, right? So all those things are, even uh, even house predictions and whatever I kept here, all those activities can be done easily by this deep learning neural networks, and it is some type of machine learning itself. Okay, they uses artificial neurons or artificial neural networks. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be having a session on deep learning, and there you will find the beauty of deep learning. Okay, so what is the capability of deep learning and all, you can see it very nicely. Image classification or speech to text transcription, style transfer in images. So whatever, these are all some examples of deep learning. Okay, and then, so the first and foremost thing, and the important one of all, and today's discussion is also on this particular field, what is generative AI. So you already know about generative AI, so let us see someone can give a simple definition of generative AI now. Can someone please unmute yourself and give me a definition of this generative AI? in existing data. So this is what everybody knows, right? So generative AI is that field which can create new content, right? New content like text, images, music, or code, or like even you can even keep the videos as well, video or code by learning and sampling from patterns in existed or existing data. Okay, so this we already know, right? So this is that field which creates a new content. So earlier we had some artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Okay, so this generative AI is that field which can create a new content. So its definition is somewhat different from the other, as you can see here, right? So that's what our main intention. And on the right side you can see Geoffrey Everest Hinton. Okay, we'll come to these definitions once again, but now on the right side you can see this person, right? He is called as the godfather of artificial intelligence, and he is one of the major contributors of deep learning. Okay, so he is very famous in that particular field. And your generative AI, whatever we have here, so it is also depended on this deep learning only. That is the reason we have a structure like this. So machine deep learning is nothing but a type of machine learning. Okay, that you got it right from this definition itself. It is a type of machine learning. And generative AI, though it is a different a subfield of artificial intelligence, it depends mostly on deep learning algorithms itself, or in simple terms, deep learning neural networks. Okay, so the artificial neurons. So as we are going to have some good session tomorrow on deep learning, so probably you will understand how generative AI and deep learning are related with each other. Okay, now let us see this definition. So what is this artificial generative AI? As we already know, generative AI is a branch of artificial intelligence that focus on creating new content such as text, images, audio, video, code, or any data. Okay, so these are the major applications that we know as part of generative AI. It can create text, it can create images, it can create audio, and it can create videos as well. But you may not be knowing generative AI is almost penetrating into all the other fields or domains in the industries. Like it may be some healthcare industry, or this video graphics industry, where people start building up the games, or you can see it here like 3D model building. So we already know that it can take up the structured data and product designs and blueprints and all. So generative AI, though the major applications of generative AI are these four, but its applications are not at all limited to these four only. Okay, so we have this generative AI capabilities being used in almost all the industries, even in the drug discovery or this self-driving cars we have today. Okay, and many AI simulations are being created on this generative AI field. Okay, so that is the beauty of generative AI. So now I hope you got the definitions of generative AI. Now let us see why you should learn generative AI now. Okay, so whatever the newspaper here you are looking at, sorry. So whatever the this picture you are looking at, this is from a famous and trusted newspaper, and of course you can even search in the internet. You can see there is a lot of demand going to be, it's going to grow a lot, but we have a huge talent gap. So you can expect some 2 million AI jobs. So in 2025, I mean, it is going to start, and of course it is started. And you can see those statistics in any news journals or somewhere. Okay, so but there is a huge talent gap. Like this hiring is booming in 2025, it is going to start in 2025 itself, from the mid. And but there is a lack of skilled talent, which means indirectly it means huge opportunity for everybody. So that is the reason you would even have noticed that in your companies where people have made this generative AI training a mandatory training for everybody, right? So you would have already seen it. Okay, and even you would have already taken up that training also, right? So generative AI the is powering tools in every industries that we have already seen, and you can see the statistics. And so whenever a new technology comes up in the market, there will be huge demand, and of course, so they become the high paying roles as well. And you can see that scenario now today. All right. So hope you got this now. So I just kept some statistics from 2025 to 2030 on India's projected AI jobs, and you can see here that so the demand for artificial intelligence is grow in a substantial and significant and exponential manner. Okay, so it depends on the years, but you can see huge talent gap that is going to be created in India itself. This is India's projected AI jobs. Okay, so this was done by one of the famous research companies, and they have provided this data, and I kept it over here. Okay, now we need to look at what are all the generative AI job roles that are existing today, and these are all the existing job roles we have today. Generative AI engineer, AI product manager, and all. You can see even a machine learning engineer needs generative AI knowledge. Okay, so these are all some way or other you can see in any job portal. Okay, they requires the generative AI skill, and these are the emerging skills. You may not see them now, but these are going to grow rapidly in the coming years. Okay, so that's yes, please. Agentic AI is a very good development based on this generative AI as well. So where I'll give a proper definition here itself, so for everybody can understand it. We will give the basics of agentic AI. So we will have some 2.5 hours of sessions on 2.5 to 3 hours of session on agentic AI. Okay, so let me give that definition as well. Agentic AI refers to any artificial intelligence systems so that can act as autonomous agents. Okay, autonomous agents. So meaning, so they can make decisions, right? So that's what it means. They can make decisions and take actions to achieve any specific goals, which means the human intervention over here, it gets reduced in a very drastic way. Okay, so the AI system is going to take up, see, when we say they are going to make decisions, so which is a very big thing, right? So on their own they are going to make the decisions. Firstly, we'll have to give some logic to it, and based on that logic itself, logic in the sense some kind of information or rules and regulations and all, and it will take up all those things, and it is going to perform just like any other individual we have in our company. Okay, so that is the capability of agentic AI, and we already know, right? We have been seeing that in news where people are a little bit scared that when agentic AI comes, many of the jobs will be replaced by AI itself, right? So it hasn't started yet, but there also the part of generative AI or generative AI engineers will be very huge. Okay, so you are the people who are going to build agentic AI. So for now it is not it is growing rapidly, but it is not in a full form. Okay, that we can say. Yeah, in the coming years you can see it, right? So like, yeah, for sure you're going to see it. Yes, 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 absolutely. So you might be using this so perplexity AI, something like that, right? Where we just give a prompt and it goes and search everywhere. But it is completely different. The agentic AI is completely different, where we usually search for give me the flights or flight prices in different websites in ChatGPT or any LLM that we are using right now. But this agentic AI can do the task. Okay, so it can search for flights and pick up your calendar. If you give it a date, it will have all the details. So reserve a hotel nearby, something like that. So it can be able to do task for you without your intervention. So that's the thing. Okay, now we have this a roadmap to generative AI. So wherever you are going to learn and however you are going to learn generative AI, this is the best sequence that you might see, or you are already seeing. Okay, so we'll start with Python programming, mathematics and statistics, machine learning essentials, deep learning, natural language processing, and advanced generative AI. That let me keep those things over here. Okay, so the first one being Python programming. So in our program, let's keep this confined to our program. So we are going to start the sessions with the Python programming, where uh, we start with the essentials, right? The core concepts, I mean, core concepts like variables, data types, and loops. So hope you have seen the brochure already. If not, I'm just keeping things simply over here. Okay, so there is a lot of content to be written over here. I'm just keeping some major things: matplotlib, and functions, and a few other things. Okay, some other libraries for deep learning or NLP, etc. So all these are part of your Python. Okay, I just kept things very simply. So this is how we are going to start our sessions. First, you will be having Python programming, in-depth programming. When I said Python, we won't be covering the basics or the foundations or in a simple manner. So we won't be covering in that manner. Okay, we are going in detail. So math and statistics for AI. So this is for building the framework. Okay, so so this is like understanding why behind the AI models. Okay, so that's what it is all about: linear algebra, calculus, and probability, or few things that you are going to learn as part of this maths and statistics. Yeah, so I'll show you the complete brochure within some 5 minutes, but I'm keeping few things. Okay, and then we'll learn deep learning, which is nothing but deep learning, which is nothing but your the brain of modern AI. Okay, so where you learn about sorry, I missed this machine learning part, right? Yeah, let's keep it machine learning essentials. Okay, so machine learning we are going to cover. So where you are going to learn about this supervised learning, what is supervised learning, and unsupervised learning, wise learning, and model evaluation. You are going to see some projects on this as well, machine learning. And next, comes the actual and the most important concept, deep learning. Okay, so deep learning we are going to cover, which is, as I said, the brain of modern AI. Brain of modern AI. So here we are going to look at many things. Okay, so we will see neural networks and forward propagation. So these are few things: backward propagation and activation functions, loss functions, optimizers. So we have many things in deep learning, and we are going to cover all these in a very detailed manner. So we were having some so currently we are in some other batch, so in May batch, and I could show you um, the sessions we went through. Okay, so as you can see, there are many videos, right? These are the number of classes we have taken for Python itself, and the machine learning and all. We have this, and for your batch it is going to extend a little bit more. And deep learning also, you can see this is from a previous batch, the batch which is running currently. And deep learning also, you can see we have covered things in a very detailed manner and in depth. Okay, so it's not like we are going to cover in a shallow level, right? So you are going to have a very good understanding over things very detailedly, and we are going to cover at least 5 projects in deep learning itself. So something like that. Even machine learning, you'll be having some projects. And Python, when you go through this NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib, you will have separate exercises. Okay, so that, so deep learning, after once deep learning is covered, we will be looking at natural language processing. Natural language processing. Okay, so natural language processing, we'll see how do we convert, I mean, how a computer can understand human language. And we'll see the word embeddings, or this text pre-processing, feature extraction, and all we'll be covering there. And the next part being basics of generative AI. Basics of generative AI. Okay, where we'll cover the transformers, which are the backbone of all LLMs that we are using right now. And we'll see how this generative AI has come up, and what are the foundations things, whatever we need to cover, that part we'll be covering over here. Okay, basics of generative AI. So I'll show you the brochure in a few minutes, but I'm writing some important points over here. And then we have this advanced generative AI. Okay, so advanced generative AI. So basics of, when we cover basics of generative AI, by that time itself you would have already introduced to the pre-trained LLMs, or the basic LLMs, or the small LLMs that are in the market in 2018, something like that. So when coming to this advanced generative AI, we'll go in detail on LLMs. Okay, LLMs, and then start the applications. How can we create applications using your LLMs? And we'll introduce you to the LangChain, RAG, Llama Index, Llama Index, and then we'll introduce you to this prompt engineering, right? And fine tuning of LLMs. You will see, and you will see the basics of agentic AI at the end. And of course, all these applications we are going to deploy, right? So that deployment part we'll be covering. So this is a simple way of telling how our 3 months journey will be. Okay, so this is a simple way of telling. But now let me show you the brochure. Okay, so this is the complete course curriculum. However, it is not limited to that. So when I you can see the difference over here. So the deep learning itself, when I showed you this some three headings, right? Training, deep learning models, introduction, and advanced architecture. But when you look at the number of uh, hours of content we have taken and the topics and all, so those things I did not include here. Okay, so this is a again a short list, I could say, right? So whatever you are going to learn, that will be in an in-depth manner, and as a generative AI engineer, you'll have to learn it, right? So 100% we are going to show clear or cover everything, clear all your doubts, and cover all the topics required. Okay, so that's the reason you are seeing many videos over here with different names and all. But here I mentioned only in some 3 4 points. Okay, and coming to this first page, Python and all, as you can see, we are going to cover everything in detail. So pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, linear algebra, probability and statistics, and all. So this is part of statistics and mathematics and machine learning essentials. So whatever all required for generative AI engineer, that we are going to cover in a sequential manner. Okay, so these are all the things that you are going to see in the machine learning part. Okay, and then we are going to see that this deep learning and neural networks. So where you'll have a very good understanding, and you'll have very good confidence after you clear all these topics. So deep learning is the first step of generative AI. Okay, so we will be covering that in very detailed manner. And then we'll see this module for natural language processing. So objective is that how machines will understand human language, right? So that's what this natural language processing is all about. And we have included the traditional NLP as well, where we were using um, some methods like bag of words, count vectorizer, TFD, IDF, something like that. And also we are going to see the NLP, deep learning NLP here, which is RNN, LSTM, GRU, etc. And then we will be covering this transformers foundations of generative AI, where we'll cover up this transformers part, which are nothing but your the backbone of LLMs, right? So these are also deep learning neural networks. So this gives you modern NLP. Okay, so whatever we showed you here, so traditional NLP and deep learning NLP and modern NLP we are going to cover when we introduce you to this transformers. So once that transformers architecture and everything is covered, then we'll see very good examples on how do we use the pre-trained models using that are present in Hugging Face or outside, using the transfer learning techniques. Okay, and we'll be even doing the fine tuning methods on that basic LLMs as well. So once you get a good understanding on things like the pre-trained LLMs or what are LLMs and how can we build small applications on LLMs, we are going to look at the large language models. Okay, so these are all the pre-trained models. Okay, are foundational models, where you see in this particular part, module 6 and module 7, you are going to uncover the knowledge of the large language models. Okay, so we'll tell you what are all these things and types of LLMs and all, fine tuning, and we have this parameter efficient fine tuning, LoRa and QLoRa, PEFT adapter tuning. So we are going to fine tune two models here. Okay, so some 5 billion or 7 billion parameter or 2 billion parameter models we are going to fine tune here. So that part is covered here, fine tuning fundamentals and fine tuning of a model, right? And then we are going to see this embeddings and semantic search. So where you will go through this what are the embedding types we have, and what which companies are providing the embeddings, and what embeddings should be used for what purpose, I mean for what application and all, you are going to learn. And we are going to cover some projects and all. So once you get some understanding over this, then will be the time to introduce you to the concepts of RAG, LangChain, and the orchestration, where we'll be covering that, right? So vector databases, and we'll see RAG in detail, we'll see, and we'll do some projects, mini projects and exercises we'll do. and later comes this fine tuning and model customization, where we'll introduce you to this basics of prompt engineering, LoRa PEFT, and Hugging Face trainer for custom models. Okay, so then by this time we would have covered at least 15 mini projects, right? And this will be the time to cover two major capstone projects. So we have chosen AWS and GCP. The first project will be on AWS, and the second will be on GCP, right? So this is our course curriculum. Though it is not complete, we will have lots of things to add up. So this number of pages may even reach some 9 pages even, right? So we kept it as simple as possible. So this is our sequence of learning. And let me tell you one more thing. Okay. Yes, yes, you will have it. Yeah, you will have it. So that is one thing. And I would like to show you some how do we, so what are the features of course features and all, you should know, right? Course features and all. Let me keep it simply. So as I was saying, you do not require any prior knowledge. Okay, because even we are going to cover Python in a very detailed manner and in-depth manner. So uh, we are not expecting anyone to have any knowledge in prior. Okay, so zero to advanced learning is what you are going to have. And the next one being, so 3 months in-depth training is what we are going to provide, right? And we will provide the study materials, complete study materials. I mean, if you want to go through, okay, let me show how this study material looks like. um, so this is one for deep learning itself. And so once the class gets over, or once this concept gets over, you can even go through this study material and you'll get very good understanding on things. Okay, so that is one thing. And we are going to provide the study materials and interview questions as well, interview questions and assignments and exercises. Okay, and one thing I would like to mention here is that we have included some mind maps and some kind of simulations. Okay, so I'll show that to you right now. So sometimes some of the concepts, we cannot expect everyone to have a great understanding, right? Sometimes some concepts may be complex, little complex to understand, right? So we are using these presentations to make people understand the concept in a very easy manner. Okay, so you will have these kind of simulations to understand what is actually happening inside. So this particular concept, if I told you or I explained verbally, you may not understand the concept very completely, right? So that is the reason we keep these kind of animations. And and we have some kind of this mind maps as well, where you can understand at what point you are in the course and what are all the next topics which are going to cover, and what is this deep learning is all about completely. Okay, so in this manner we usually cover the topics. And yeah, that's how things will go. We use this kind of presentations. Of course, we don't rely completely on these presentations. Most of the classes will go here explaining things step by step, right? But whenever things like whatever you can't imagine, like the one I have shown you, or I can show you some other things as well. So which you can't imagine, or which takes some amount of time for you to understand. So if we show you so these kind of pictures or simulations, you can understand the concepts uh, better. So that's the reason we use these simulations for almost all of the topics. As you can see here, for almost all of the topics we use it. So this is how things will go, right? So don't get scared of looking at these kind of images. Okay, so all this we are going to cover in a very simple manner. So these are all the features, and if you have any questions and all, you can ask me right now. 1 second, let me go to that program PPT. So likewise, we use presentations for making things very clear, and whatever looks complex to you, will make it easy by using those mind maps and simulations and all. So yeah, so this is what I would like to say at the end. No prior knowledge is required. We teach from zero level, and so it will be a 3 months in-depth training, and the classes and all, as you know already, it starts at I mean July 16th is the first day, and every day 7:30 a.m. IST. Okay, so this is the class timing. So yeah, if you have any further questions, you can ask me now. It's time. Yes, yes. Yes, I'm working as a AI specialist. So I'm working as a generative AI engineer, to be clear, and part time I'm a trainer. Yeah, not full time. So, yeah. So those will be like so you already know about this generative AI, right? At least a basic level. So basically we'll have to build up some applications, right? So application may be a model, which a model or some, to keep it simply, it is a chatbot kind of, right? So chatbot is only one of the application that we are going to see, but there are many responsibilities of a generative AI engineer. So we will have to we'll have to create some kind of pipelines. So sometimes people will be asking, we need this application to host it in this cloud environment. Okay, so you may not be involved in that chatbot building application only. Okay, you may not be completely in that chatbot building area, but you may be in the logging. So the logs and all, you'll have to see the cloud monitoring, you'll have to see. So those kind of things you'll have to do, right? So there are many uh, responsibilities of a generative AI engineer. So building chatbots is one of the responsibility of generative AI engineer, but of course there are many, and I'll tell you in detail. I'll write things over here, and I'll show you what are the responsibilities of generative AI engineer. Sorry, main challenges in the training, you mean? I don't see any challenges here. I didn't get what do you mean by challenges in the training actually.
What's going to be the most toughest part in the training?
No, nothing, no at all. So we are going to put a lot of effort in making you understand the concepts. Okay, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go through the videos once again, right? So if so that will fill all the gaps, right? After that we'll provide for example the projects and all, we'll provide you on that day itself, or maybe by afternoon or by evening for this batch. Okay, so you'll have to go through that, and you'll have to practice that particular project. That's it. So the challenge, when you say what is coming into my mind is your time and the practice. So what we are expecting is that, let's say, this training and all, it gets completed in 3 months. Okay, on the on the first day of, let's say this is going to take some 80 days. Let's take this example, 80 days. Okay, so on the 81st day we are expecting people to attend the interviews, right? So to be in this space, you will have to do some kind of exercises, or you will have to go through the videos once again. So the challenge here being the time that you are going to spend on this program. That's it.
Yeah, hi,
What?
sir. Like,
No, no, at all, not at all, not at all. So, yeah. So basically, so the infrastructure structure you need for model training and all. I know that you people already know about this GPUs, right? So yeah, you can use some Google Colab. Okay, Google Colab, where they'll provide you the free GPUs, right? For model training and all, you can use it simply. And when it is coming to the fine tuning and all, you might require some good GPUs that we can purchase if we want. If we want, again, it's in bracket. So they provide some GPUs. Okay, so let me show the GPUs here. So you don't require a special laptop or anything. You can use the virtual system provided by the Google using this Google Colab. Okay, so these are all the GPUs. By using this GPUs itself, you can even do the fine tuning, right? So this is one such a powerful GPU that even ChatGPT would have been built upon, right? So maybe hundreds of it. So we have only one. So these are all enough. Okay, so for building projects or fine tuning small models like 2 billion, 3 billion parameter model, or even 5 billion parameter model, you can do that simply using the Google Colab. Or we are going to deploy our application in the cloud as well, right? So there also we'll have some set of GPUs associated with the cloud with some $0.35 per hour, right? So when you take up that account, which is free of cost for 3 months, let's say. So for 3 months, you can do whatever you want using those cloud services, right? So there also you can do that. So no special laptop or no special infrastructure is needed for this, for learning generative AI. Okay, so if you have that confusion, please take it out. So every laptop is, yeah. GAN and all, if we have time, I could cover that, but it is not part of our curriculum actually. So it depends on the time. GANs and all, yeah, yeah. So are you? So these are all part of generative AI, but these are all image related ones. So yeah, image related ones and all. Uh, let me show that. So these are all image related ones, and image related, again, it takes so some significant amount of time. Okay, so this will not be, if you want, I can take up a session, and maybe for 1 hour I could cover this concept, but it takes a lot of time. We won't be covering the major ones. I mean, however we are going to build this text application well is what this program is all about. But if you want the image related ones, it might take up some time. So maybe I can take some weekend classes if you require. Okay, so this convolutional neural networks, it will be part of our program, but GANs and VAEs and all, so those are all image related ones. So that becomes, some time. Yeah. Yes, that is not a problem. So after this session, you may go through any job postings, and you will find whatever we are covering the program, right? So you will find only these things, okay? And some kind of foundational knowledge on those things as well, GANs and all. Okay, that we'll cover, but 75%, 75 to 80% jobs you have on generative AI, though most of them are related to the text as of now, 75 to 80%. Yeah. So we won't be doing any certifications as part of this course. Okay, so yeah, we have the cloud related certifications, and even you would have gone through the basic certifications in your company as well, right? Whatever the service or product based, you have the basic level certifications, and of course we have cloud related certifications associated with IBM and all. You could see that. Okay, so particularly these are the certifications we have: generative AI and all. There is nothing, right? They are changing every time. So IBM has come up with cloud certifications. Google Cloud has opened Google Cloud certifications for generative AI engineers. Something like that. We have many certifications. I mean, there are lots of certifications. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We will see that in the next session. I'll give you a flow chart of how we are going to do this project. Like it's a same thing. Like you will be. Yes, SageMaker is basically for your machine learning and all. So that is uh, a full-time service, you can say, for machine learning, building from the scratch. Okay, for generative AI, you might need a basics of SageMaker, but most of the projects will be on AWS Bedrock or okay, so those kind of things. But there are intermediate services, right? Like Lambda functions and all. Lambda functions, AWS S3, EC2, so where you are going to deploy your application. So those kind of things will vary with application, right? Whatever the application you are going to build, so those things may vary. So yes, obviously you have different services. We are going to look at those things tomorrow. I have that chat with me. I kept in one of the slides, so you'll get a very good understanding on that. Vertex AI and all. Yes, you would have heard about it, Vertex AI, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hi sir. Like I'm a GCP data engineer now. So how it is related to GCP to learn generative AI?
One second. So I have two questions. One being, how is this course going to help me being a DevOps engineer? Being a DevOps engineer is one thing, and being GCP data engineer is the other. Yeah. So, firstly, let me go through this DevOps engineer. So, basically, whatever the application you have, you will have to deploy it. So, that is for sure. You will have to deploy it. So, where you are going to deploy using the Docker, Kubernetes, or any other containerization, methods we have, something like that. It depends, right? So, even for generative AI, if you have a knowledge on DevOps already, so you'll understand the deploying of a generative AI application very much easier. Okay, so that this particular knowledge whatever you're having, so it will help you very nicely when there is a term like this LLM ops. Okay, LLM, whatever the LLM you have, and you'll have to deploy that in the cloud, or as I said, Docker and Kubernetes. There your knowledge will be very helpful in understanding. Okay, so you can keep this. I mean, LLM ops is going to be one of the most trending field in the coming months. Okay, so if you learn this LLMs and the all the other knowledge, whatever the DevOps knowledge you are having, you can combine both, and you can get very good opportunities in the future. Okay, LLM ops, it's still in the beginning, or it is there but at a small level. I mean the jobs, I mean. So I have shown you the jobs, right? So LLM application developer, and so AI DevOps engineer is what is there. And here also we have LLM ops engineers as well. You can check in the portal, and your knowledge is going to be very helpful for the same thing. All right, so you just have to learn about this LLMs, what are all, and how do we build an application using the LangChain, Llama Index, or RAG, whatever. So once you build up that application, whatever the knowledge you're having in deploying it, that gives you a boom, a plus, a very big plus. All right, so that is for DevOps engineer. And we have other another question. So being a GCP data engineer, how this course is going to help me, right? So that is that question.
Yes, yes,
Yes. So GCP data engineering, so you would be using the BigQuery as a data warehouse, right? The cloud data warehouse. And now BigQuery has the ML related capabilities as well, that we already know, right? And coming when coming to GCP, so GCP is that particular cloud service which is upfront, right? When compared to AWS or Azure, it is very much inclined to AI, artificial intelligence, right? So this we know, GCP has been investing billions of dollars on artificial intelligence when compared to AWS and Azure, right? So mostly, as you have seen, BigQuery, it doesn't have this ML capabilities when that service has come up, right? But now it is having that ML capabilities. And GCP now has many other services like Vertex AI, etc., etc., where the deployment or building up of these LLM applications has become, not only LLMs, ML applications or ML algorithms have become very much easier, and people are widely using it. So you, as you're already GCP data engineer who already knows how to extract, transform, and load the data from one system to the other, maybe from on premises to the cloud basis, like you might be having this cloud SQL to cloud BigQuery, right? So these kind of
yes,
data loadings is what you are doing right now. This is the first step of building any application, right? So once you get some data, once you get let me write it over here. So once you get some data, okay, so once the data is clean, you will be sending it to some data scientist or BI engineers as well. So here a data scientist or BI engineer or ML engineer will be there, and they'll be making some predictions on the data, whatever the data you have transformed. They'll be making some predictions on the data, or they might build up some dashboards, being a BI engineer, or they may build up some kind of applications using that data, being a ML engineer or data scientist. So once this part is done, so generative AI engineer part can come up, okay, where whatever the application you have built, so we will add up some kind of services in between, and we might even include LLM capabilities for that particular application built by ML engineer, right? So this is a combined thing, okay? So generative AI engineer can do this as well. So being a GCP data engineer, you already have a very good knowledge on this, and you have some part of knowledge on this as well. So you might be working on GCP Looker as well, right? GCP Looker, so where you have
yes,
the,
Looker Studios.
yeah, Looker Studio. Now it is called as Looker Studio, I guess, but earlier it was GCP Looker, I guess. I mean, I don't remember. So yeah, so BI dashboards and all, also, and next part is the responsibility of ML engineer. So there will be a team which will be looking after all these things. And once you know this, you know the pipeline entirely. Okay, this entire pipeline, at least some part of it, as you know already this, so at least some part of a machine learning algorithm. So this part we are going to cover in our class, right? So this will be a plus for you. And generative AI is a full-fledged course, so you will get a very good understanding on this pipeline. And as I said, GCP is that platform which invests a lot of amount on AI. So the primary goal of GCP is always towards AI. Okay, so that's the thing. Yes. No, ML ops we won't be teaching. ML ops is for ML engineers. So that is the thing first. ML ops is for ML engineers. So if he is going to deploy any kind of ML application or ML model, so he'll be using ML ops. And for generative AI engineers, we have this LLM ops. So LLM ops. So you would be seeing very few job vacancies on LLM ops with this term keyword. I mean, right? So we will be covering this part when we cover this deployment of AI models. Deployment of AI models. Sorry, AI ops. You mean this the job I have shown? Yeah, it is ops. Ops is all about DevOps, right? So whatever the project requires, we'll be covering that. Yeah. So someone has asked about the fees details. Yeah, you can check with the management, so they'll be able to tell you. Okay, so 1 second. So they would have already given you a link or would have notified you. So please check that. Okay, so if you have any further questions, you can ask, or it's already 8:40, so we can we'll meet tomorrow. So where you'll understand my way of teaching, and also you will understand how things are going as part of this generative AI. So we'll cover a first session of deep learning, what this deep learning is all about, and how you can see how interesting things will be as part of this course, right? So tomorrow, please try to attend the session. Tomorrow onwards we are going to cover the generative AI part. All right, so at least we'll cover what this deep learning is all about. And someone has asked a question, right? How this AWS application capstone project and GCP capstone project will look like. That part we are going to cover tomorrow. And of course we have the responsibilities of generative AI engineer. So someone has asked, right? That part also we are going to give you in points. All right, so I can simply say the responsibilities of a generative AI engineer, but you may not understand at this point, like model building or data preparation, fine tuning of LLMs, or deployment of LLMs, whatever we have in this particular syllabus. So those will be the responsibilities, right? So building up the vector databases, or selecting the good embedding models. So whatever we have, those are all the responsibilities of a generative AI engineer. Okay, someone has asked this question, right? So I'm just keeping the answer very simple. Yeah. So if you have any further questions, sorry. No practical. I'll try to add up the notes, but usually how I teach is that I first cover the theory part, and that makes you understand the project building very much easier. Okay, so if I tell you these things and all, at first you'll get scared, so I don't want to scare anyone. So that's the reason I might use some code, but yeah, still it depends. Like first you'll have to learn what is what, and then we'll go through things, right? So that is the best way. So that's how I teach, right? So these all these videos you see. So first we'll cover the theory part. I mean, you should get, I mean, at least for deep learning. Okay, for NLP and all, for all the other subfields, as I have kept here, NLP and all, you're going to start the this concept with the examples or exercises. All right, but for deep learning especially, you will need some good understanding prior, and then we'll slowly take you to the project building. Okay, that's how that's the best approach actually. So deep learning we'll cover theory first and practicals next, But NLP and all the other rest, all the 6 to 7 folders I kept here, all these concepts will be, the explanation will be along with the exercises. So that's what I want to say. Okay, hope you got that. So someone has asked a question. So these topics look complicated as or something we can learn in 3 months. Obviously, you can learn in 3 months. So there is no doubt about it. I'm 100% sure that uh, at the end of this 81st day, you will have very good knowledge on generative AI. So this for this I'll try harder and work harder to explain the concepts in a very simple manner and providing you the exercises. And of course you will have to keep 50% of effort from your side as well, revisiting a video or doing the assignment or changing the project variables, something like that. And you will have to keep some kind of efforts from you as well. But just believe me, generative AI is very good and very easy to understand and get a job, right? Easy to understand firstly, and it is not at all complex. So don't get scared or don't get confused on those things. Yes. How much experience? Yes. So a question has come up. So after we complete this course, how much experience we can at least show in your resumes or the expertise you have on generative AI? So it's been around 3 years since this generative AI jobs have started. Of course, even for me as well, it will be some 2+ years of experience on generative AI. Earlier, I was working as a AI engineer where I was looking at the ML algorithms and all. Okay, so you can keep the same years of experience, 2 years of experience. Okay, so if you keep more than that, obviously people won't believe because generative AI has come up only recently, right? So we'll have to keep this much experience, and you can keep it. So that's confidence I can give you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if you don't have any further questions, we can wind up the session.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see in the next class. Tomorrow we are going to see how this deep learning is going to look and what this deep learning is all about, right? So tomorrow's session is going to be interesting, and I request every one of you to attend this session. All right. Yeah. Have a great day. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.